Hi, hope you had a great day. You're watching JUG Entertainment, and for this video, I'm giving you the first reactions or reviews to Turning Red to say what to expect from this movie, whether the movie is good or bad. And it's going to be a very interesting video because it's going to have all sorts of info about the movie as well as expectations for this movie, why critics have been saying. It's like a compilation of a bunch of critics' opinions or their first reactions to the movie. So it's going to be a really, really interesting video that I really hope you enjoy. And it's going to tell you whether it's worth watching or not this Friday on Disney Plus, where it comes out for free. So it's going to be a really nice video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you do, then please leave a like. It would be very, very helpful. So please, if you end up enjoying the video, then don't forget to leave a like. Also subscribe for a lot of other content, animation, comic book movies, all that type of stuff. Just subscribe for all that great content. And lastly, tell me down in the comments, what are your own expectations for this movie? Are you excited for it? Are you excited for it just because it's a Pixar movie? What do you think about the trailer? All that type of stuff. Tell me that down in the comments. I'm definitely curious to hear what your expectations are for this movie. Okay, now let's get started. Alright, so the format of these videos are usually me going to a site, as you can see me right here, and then I'll put the tweet right here of the critic so you can read it as I read what they said about the movie, and then I break it down and give you the important key elements of this. I have, I think, around 8 or 9 critic opinions on this, so it's going to be a really nice video and it's a really nice pool, because trust me, there's mixed opinions on this, which is even more interesting. So yeah, let's start with the first critic, and this one's going to come from Zach Pope, and this is what Zach Pope had to say about the movie. He said, "Turning Red might be Pixar's most emotional story yet. Domshi directs a hilarious coming-of-age story that deals with puberty, boys, pandas, culture, and the relationships that we have with our parents/elders, giving an eye-opening perspective to the kids and adults." And then he put a heart. So clearly, he really enjoyed this movie. He thinks it was really, really good. He likes the way that the movie was directed, first of all, which is very interesting that you can really know what's the directing. And he said it was very hilarious, so that's good. It's a coming-of-age story that deals with elements such as puberty, which is actually very new for Pixar. It's kind of a higher element, as well as culture and pandas, apparently, which is even really funny. So yeah, that's a really interesting. I think that makes for some really interesting stuff. And he says it's even eye-opening, which is also very, very interesting. Zach Pope also said, "Plus, the animation is stunning and truly brings a sense and style of anime and Pixar style. It's so unique and beautiful." So that was a very nice review. He really seems to like the animation. So like I said, he kind of seems to be like a mixture of anime as well as like its own Pixar flavor, which I think is pretty interesting. Actually, the trailers, it's definitely a very different type of animation. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I kind of want to see the movie first, but I tell you, I like it. Has like a flair to it. I had to see it in a full movie to see how it looks. I don't dislike it and I don't love it yet. I had to like see it first. I'm very curious to see how it works in the movie. But Zach Pope definitely gives you hope because he said he really loves animation, so that's good. Alright, moving on to the next critical review, and this one comes from Aiko Hinkinger. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name, I probably did, I'm sorry. But this is what she had to say about it. And she said, "Turning Red is everything I could have wanted and more. This is the film I needed when I was 13, and I'm so glad that kids growing up get to watch it and realize that they're not alone in their weirdness, their issues, and their dreams. I can't wait to make this my entire personality." So clearly, she really loved the movie, like a lot. Like, wow, she really loved the movie a lot. And she says that it's a very important movie to, like, teenagers, basically. She says that this is a movie that she really needed whenever she was a teenager, and she says that this movie will definitely like work very well with teenagers because they realize no, they're not alone. Everybody has these issues. Everybody passes through the same things, which I think is really nice message for the movie to give. And I'm very excited to see how the movie explores that. I'm definitely very excited to see that because I'm curious to see how, first of all, how far it would go with those explorations, as well as just for a movie that teenagers can have to have like a representation of themselves. You know, I just feel like teenagers usually get represented very badly in Hollywood, so to finally have a nice big blockbuster representation of this is very nice. So that's good. Alright, moving on to the next attraction review, and this one comes from Scott Menzel, and this is what he said. "Turning Red is the boldest and strangest Disney and Pixar collaboration to date. Kudos to Dom Shi and Julia Cho for creating a fresh, edgy, and unique take on womanhood throughout animation. Some of the jokes go places that I would have never expected to see in a Pixar film. Hashtag Turning Red." So that's a really interesting first session review. First of all, it seems like they really loved it. They thought that they did a really nice mixture of fresh, edgy, and unique take on this womanhood type of thing through puberty, obviously. So it's very interesting to see that he really praised the cast, which is nice. I always like whenever they praise the cast because I think it's nice to see the actors behind these big projects. So that's great. And he said that this movie does take jokes that they never thought a Pixar film would take. So I'm guessing they're going to be more mature jokes. And I'm definitely curious to see how far these jokes go. Like, I wonder if it's going to be how family friendly this movie is going to be. Because obviously Pixar has basically been very family friendly, and not just Pixar, but Disney and animation studios themselves, for the most part, except for like very rare exceptions like Sausage Party. But besides that, they've basically been very family friendly. So I wonder where this is going to go, especially. But I'm curious to see the jokes. I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of more ready for a more mature Pixar. So let's see where it goes. And Grace Randolph herself actually explores a little bit more. So moving on to her thing, she said, Hashtag Turning Red. Pixar ain't messing around with this one. Very different. Definitely PG-13. It gets out to a rocky start, but by the end, I was genuinely moved. Embargo lives on 3/7, which is on Monday. So that was actually a very nice thing that she gave us, because she gave us the information that this movie is actually going to be PG-13. Excuse me. This movie is actually going to be PG-13, which is actually very, very interesting, because it's the first Pixar movie that is PG-13, which means that yes, they're going to go for a more mature audience, which definitely means that if you have little kids that you wanted to see them with or something, then maybe you should watch the movie first by yourself and then see if this is appropriate for them, especially if they're like 5 or something like that. This might not be very appropriate for them. Maybe if they're around like 12, 11, maybe this might be more appropriate for them because they're about to enter that age. But this movie is PG-13, which I find very, very interesting and kind of fascinating. We're finally going to get from a mature Pixar, which, like I said, I am definitely more ready to see. And we'll see how. I think this allows them to explore this topic of puberty a lot deeper than they probably would if this movie wasn't PG-13. So that's good. And we'll see what different critics have opinions on this, because different critics have different opinions on it, this movie being more mature. And starting with that different opinion, we're going to see Shannon McGrew. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. And this is what she said. Turning Red is nothing short of exceptional. The NSYNC Loving Self was bopping to the soundtrack. I screamed enjoy when the character yelled, think CTHULHU. I don't really know what that means. But what blew me away was how it openly discussed puberty, periods, and the complexities to mother and daughter relationships. So that's something very, very interesting. So clearly she did love this movie a lot. She even went as far as to call it exceptional, which means it's really, really, really good. First of all, we do see that there's like some boy band in there, which I don't really know anything of it, so I don't want to comment on it, but just keep that in mind. But she said that what really blew her away was how it openly discussed these heavy topics, which, like I said, I think this is what the PG-13 rating allows. Because if they didn't have a PG-13 rating, they had a PG rating, I don't know how they could possibly discuss periods. Or maybe like puberty itself, it would be a lot more toned down. So PG-13 is definitely allowed to discuss these topics a lot more open, which is why I'm saying this movie might not be so appropriate for younger viewers. This movie might require a little bit more age, like older youngers, like 11, 12, like I said, so that they can watch this movie and not be like, what the heck did I just see? You know what I mean? So it makes a lot of sense, and I really do like this. I think that this is great for the movie that it can openly discuss this. However, there were some other critics that didn't love this so much, and it's going to be from Sean Chandler, which is a critic that I actually usually watch a lot myself, and this is what he said. Based on the Twitter reactions, a lot of people are loving Turning Red. I was not one of them. Pixar is known for making movies with broad appeal. Turning Red, conversely, is a coming-of-age, puberty story laser-focused on specific experiences I didn't want to relive or couldn't relate to. He also added, many people will love the frenetic 13-year-old energy, hyper-focus on boy bands and puberty illusions, and then he put parentheses, periods and pads included, parentheses. I found the movie alienating for those same reasons. While Turning Red is the better-made film, I'd rather rewatch Cars 2. So he really had a lot of thoughts on this, and then he kept going and said, keep in mind, I'm a 40-year-old man who wasn't obsessed with boy bands, but the subject matter was handled in a way that pushed me away instead of pulling me in. This might be the weirdest, as Skirt Riches included, and most awkwardly niche film yet. So that's definitely very interesting. He definitely had a lot of things to say about this movie, but as you can see, he was one of the critics that didn't like it. He's not the only critic that didn't like it. There was a lot of the critics in the same comments to this tweet that agreed with him, so he's not the only critic that didn't like it, and I'm definitely curious to see the Rotten Tomatoes score on Monday whenever it drops to see how it actually compares. But as you can see, this movie is not going to be for everybody, and Sean Chandler proved it himself by saying this movie was not for him at all. He did not love the way that this topic was actually explored, puberty and everything. As you can see, it's definitely going to be a lot more heavily handed, with him even saying that pads are included and everything, and periods, so that's definitely very interesting. And there's even rituals apparently, so it's also very interesting with that. And it's just like somebody who wasn't obsessed with boy bands and this and that, this movie was not something I could personally relate to, or nor something that I would want to explore more. So that's definitely very, very interesting. So clearly he didn't like that. So maybe for some older viewers, they would not love this movie, or at least they won't love, at least if you can't relate to liking boy bands and doing this and doing that, then maybe this movie might not be for you at all. Especially if you didn't like your teenage years, then maybe this movie's not for you at all, like it isn't for Sean Chandler. And I haven't seen the movie yet, so I can't really say if I agree or disagree. So that's definitely very interesting. However, there was a lot more positive reviews, as AJ, the movie podcast, said. Pixar delivers another outstanding film with #Turning Red. At the heart of this film lies the beauty of accepting oneself and all the faults that come with it. Dong Shi does an excellent job illuminating a story that a lot of young girls and parents will find deep connection with. So clearly he thinks this movie is actually really, really good. He said it was an outstanding film. He says it has a lot of heart, which is good, and it's about accepting oneself. So as you can see, it's definitely like a very personal story, which I really, really like. And it says that this movie is actually resonate with a lot of their parents and kids, which I think is very, very nice. I think if you're a parent with a kid around that age, 13, 12, like around that age, I think this movie might be perfect for you. I think this movie might be like a really nice thing for y'all. So if you have anybody in that age, I think that's going to be awesome for you to watch. I think it's going to be an amazing watch for you. Yeah, clearly keep it in mind. I think that's going to be awesome. So that's very nice. And like I said, another great review. Another very positive review comes from Dino Howard, who said, Turning Red is one of the best films about puberty ever. Bold animation takes Pixar in a new stylized direction, and it's a perfect match for this story. Fast-paced and a bit edgy, but funny and moving. A lively coming-of-age film about the challenging of embracing our big emotions. So I think that this review sums it up perfectly from what we're hearing from the positive reviews. It seems like the animation is great for starters, and apparently it matches the story very well. So we'll see about the animation. Like I said, I still don't know how I feel about it, but everybody keeps saying the animation is really good, so I'm definitely very interested to see it in the movie. It's very fast-paced, which is good. I like fast-paced movies. We get to the story faster, and I think for a movie like this, that fits perfect. It is a bit edgy, so maybe you shouldn't like edginess. That could be a problem with you, especially with the boy bands, as Sean Chandler mentioned earlier. We can see that the edginess might drive some viewers away, which I can definitely see. But it says that it's funny and moving, so that's great. And overall, like many of other critics have said, it's about a coming-to-age story. And this one, it says that it was about embracing our big emotions, which actually sounds really interesting to me. I think that sounds like an amazing thing, because I think most people are really scared to embrace their big emotions. So it's really great that this is the topic of the movie. So I think that's a really nice message. Alright, moving on to the last first reaction review that I'm going to cover in this video. And that comes from Brandon Matthews, who says, I love Turning Red. It's so much fun and dives deep into Cantonese culture. I can't wait to watch it again. Just wow. Rosalie Chang is incredible as Mei Ling Li, and it's a wonder. Of course, Sandra Oh is perfect as her mother. All-star cast. Review embargo lives 3/7, 6 a.m. PST. So, another great first reaction review. They said that they literally love this movie, which is awesome. That's very great. They actually mentioned they really like the Cantonese culture exploration, which I think was actually really interesting as well. I think I really like that they're going to explore this different culture. I have no idea what the Cantonese culture is, so I can't wait to explore it in this movie. So we'll see. They said they can't wait to watch it again, which is obviously a very good sign. And they praised the cast for doing such an amazing job with their roles, which is great. He also let known that the embargo does lift on 3/7, which is on Monday, and lists at 6 a.m. Pacific time. So if you're waiting for a more elaborate review on one of the critics, then you can expect it on that day and around that time. So it's going to be very interesting. And that's also when the Rotten Tomatoes score is going to happen. So also if you want to keep a look on that, then you can watch that. Watch out for that on Monday. So yeah, that is this video. The compilation of all these big critics' first reactions to reviews. What are the thoughts on the movie? Was it good? Was it bad? The different mixed reviews, and more information. For example, the movie's going to be PG-13, which you can already tell PG-13 is going to be a lot more mature in their topics, puberty, periods apparently, a relationship between mothers and daughters. So it's going to be very interesting with that. The animation style seems to be unique and everything. There's definitely going to be explosion of culture, which I find fascinating. I think it's going to be really awesome. And it seems like it has some edge to it. It's going to be kind of funny and fast-paced. So we'll see how this movie ultimately ends up doing. Like I said, I don't think this movie's going to be for everybody. Just from reading these critics, I can already see that this movie's not going to be for everybody. However, I hope that by getting to this point of the video, I think you realize whether you think this movie's going to be for you or not. So hopefully you did. And if this video did help getting you to that decision, then please leave a like. It would be very helpful. As well as you just found it informative or enjoyable, then please leave a like. It definitely helps a lot. So please leave a like. As well as subscribe for a lot of the content. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of coverage on this movie whenever it comes out. So subscribe for that content. As well as a lot of coverage on other movies like The Batman. It just came out. I'm doing coverage on that as well. So subscribe for all that content. And lastly, I'll comment down below with did this raise up your expectations? Does this lower your expectations? Does this get you more hyped up or not? I'm definitely very curious. And also tell me what was the most exciting thing you heard about this. I'm definitely very curious. So tell me that down in the comments. And yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And this is JOG Entertainment, out.